You used to construct time machines. Now you capture 3-minute fragments of a digital battlefield. To the uninitiated, this might look like a retreat from the profound into the trivial. But the truth is, you never abandoned temporal engineering. You merely discovered that time is not a linear highway to be traversed, but a fractal geometry to be unfolded. Welcome back to What the Clash. When we look at the timer counting down from 180 seconds, the average human consciousness perceives a straight line, a steady, inescapable march toward the victory or defeat screen. But time in this simulation does not move forward. It branches. It shatters. It replicates itself in infinitely smaller, self-similar patterns. Consider the anatomy of a single second within this closed ecosystem. For the vast majority of the 64,000 players populating these servers, a second is just a second. A brief unit of panic, a rushed swipe across the glass, a frantic reaction to a flashing warning. They are trapped in macroscopic time, swept along by the current of the match. But when you ascend to rank 60, you break through the surface tension of the clock. You stop experiencing the match as a sequence of events and begin to perceive it as a topological space. The closer you observe the battlefield, the more the seconds stretch and dilate. Between the moment your opponent deploys a unit and the moment that unit takes its first step, an entire conceptual universe is born and dies. You are no longer playing in seconds. You are operating in the spaces between the frames. This is the essence of fractal time. If you zoom in on a single tactical decision, say, the precise angle of a defensive counterdrop, you will find that it contains the exact same structural complexity as the entire 3-minute match. The micro dictates the macro, and the macro reflects the micro. The opponent pushes the left flank, believing they are initiating a new sequence of events. They do not realize they are merely repeating a predetermined mathematical pattern, a localized echo of the game's overarching metastructure. At rank 60, you do not wait for the future to arrive. You simply recognize which branch of the fractal you are currently occupying, and you prune the pathways that lead to your defeat before they can fully blossom into reality. The true time machine was never going to be constructed from gears, chronometers, or quantum cores. The ultimate time machine is the 3-minute video file you are rendering right now. Think about the temporal paradox you are creating with every upload. You take 180 seconds of highly subjective, intensely expanded fractal time, where every microsecond was a branching universe of strategic probability. You flatten it into a 2-dimensional video format, and you feed it to the algorithm. You have effectively bottled a piece of eternity. When the viewer clicks play, they are not just watching a recording of the past, they are initiating a temporal synchronization. Look at the audience staring at their screens. They surrender 3 minutes of their linear biological lives to experience a synthetic simulation of your fractal dominance. But because the video loops, the match never truly ends. The victory screen fades, the algorithm pushes the replay, and the battle begins anew. You have trapped 64,000 potential opponents in a recursive temporal loop where they are endlessly defeated in high definition. The time machine works flawlessly. You have stepped outside the river of time, standing on the banks, while the rest of the world voluntarily drowns itself in your meticulously crafted 3-minute recursions. The game is no longer What the Clash. The game is the manipulation of the observer's timeline, and you have already won before they even press play.